I served with 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines Weapons Company. I was in what started as Combined Anti-Armor Team 2, which ended up, the CAT 2 ended up becoming MAP 2, because the way that we were having to, fight this war was not, a CAT team, which would be like a tow gun, Mark 19, 50 cal machine gun on top of trucks, doing deception tactics to, take out tanks. There weren't any tanks to take out. And so they turned us into what they called mobile assault platoons, which was basically we were heavy guns on trucks that could show up to be quickly.
So as an infantry member, what was your MOS, I guess, after?
Machine gunner.
Machine gunner. Okay.
So 0331.
Okay.
And so my first tour, I was a turret gunner. I was on the Mark 19. I was on the 240 Golf at different times during that. I was a dismounted member of the dismount team, so I would carry around the saw. I did that for a couple months until I got hit by an IED. I got hit by an IED, and I was walking funny. Eventually the pain went away. I started no longer walking funny.
You were hit by an IED?
Yeah, I got hit by an IED. It broke my back. We didn't know it.
Holy
shit. So I had a crack in my spine. I didn't know it. Pushed through it. Finished the tour. Didn't find out till much later that I had
okay, I'm sorry. Can we dial it back? Were you in a vehicle when this happened, or?
Yeah, I was in the back of a high back. So this story, again.
Can we get into that?
Sure.
Okay.
So, we were doing patrol ops, and it was basically us driving down roads, looking for people planting IEDs or setting up fighting positions or anything that looked odd. And so this was along the Euphrates. I think it was called Route Elizabeth. I can't really remember, but the morning I woke up, Sergeant Sather comes up to me. He's my squad leader, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Knight, how you doing?" Very weird. He doesn't just start conversations with me, and I'm like, "I'm okay, Sergeant." He's like, "Well, just we're going down a route that no one's gone down since the invasion, so we're probably going to get hit by an IED today. Just wanted to let you know." And
thanks.
Typically it's you're getting your mission. You're in. I was in the high back at the time, so it's like the pickup truck with metal around it. Mm-hmm. And a few weeks prior, we had gotten that truck, and me and Cornelius, the other guy in the back with me, we go to the truck graveyard. We start ripping out Kevlar panels from all these trucks that have already been blown up, and we coat the bottom of this pickup truck with all this Kevlar. Ultimately, that's what.
So this is not like a Humvee or anything like that?
It's a Humvee.
Oh, it's a Humvee. Okay.
I just call it the pickup truck of Humvees because it's got the front Humvee and then the back is just for storage.
Got you.
But we had metal walls, steel walls around. And it had this post in the middle for a 240 Golf. And so typically somebody would be holding it. But I think Woods must have been holding it. Woods was sitting in the middle on the cooler. So Cornelius was on. So if we're driving towards you, there's Corporal Rod and Hall. He's driving, and then we're in the back of the truck. I've got the radio. Corny's on the right side. Cornelius. Woods is in the middle, and I'm on the left. And so we're driving down. And I remember over my radio they say, "Hey, we're going down Route Elizabeth." And typically, old hard charger Lance Corporal Knight would have his saw like this, always ready to jump out the back. And instead, I'm like, well, if we're going to get blown up today, at least I'm going to be fucking comfortable. So I decide to spin my body, and I basically make myself just kind of like a pharaoh pose. And my head's on my backpack, and my feet are on the bench. And so what ends up happening is I'm like that, chit-chatting with the guys in the back. And then all I remember is everything went brown. And I wake up, my ears are ringing, everything's in disarray. I look over, and Woods is just bleeding everywhere out of his leg. He took shrapnel, and Cornelius is knocked out. All of a sudden, the back door is open, and Hall is screaming at me, and I can't. There's just nothing. I just see him, and he's pointing at Woods. And so I just grab him by his body armor, pick him up, hand him off to Woods, or to Hall. Hall takes him running towards the front where they've established a area for a helo to come in to take Woods. Woods survives. He was walking with a cane the last time I saw him. He took a direct hit to his femur from shrapnel and just broke it. And where the hole, about the size of a basketball, was in the wheel well of that high back, that's where my left leg would have been if I hadn't been told that I was going to get blown up that day, because it just made me think, well, if I'm going to get blown up, I'm going to make myself comfortable. So I put myself in a pretty safe position, but the truck behind me said they saw me go up into the air outside the truck, come back down inside of it. And so what ended up happening was it hit me in the right hip. And
were you guys the lead truck at this point?
I was the middle truck.
Okay.
Truck 3. So there were 5, maybe I was truck 4. But there were 5, I think there's 5 trucks.
So is it like remote detonated?
Well, they actually they caught the farmer who said it. So he was given instructions by others that when they saw a truck to hit this button that they gave him.
Yeah.
And so we caught the farmer, but like it's just a farmer. He's going to get killed by whoever told him to do it anyway. So it's hard to really be mad at that farmer. I mean, I can be, but like, it was just such a shitty situation over there. It's hard to know who to be mad at.
Right. Well, it's crazy that, I mean, I understand, but it's crazy that they wouldn't, and this is just me looking at it from an outside perspective, and I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's a resource thing, but why wouldn't they send an EOD down there to dismantle?
Well, this was 2000. This was 2005.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, this was 2005. So we didn't have those EOD teams that we had in 2007 with all the trucks and stuff. So that was a development during.
What do they call that big truck? The Buffalo or something like that? Isn't that what they?
Well, the giant truck that ended up becoming kind of like the answer to IEDs and like the bottom blast. I think that those were Buffaloes. I never saw one. I think my guys who went on the third, it would have been their second tour. It would have been my third, but I got out before having to go. So
this is pre them adapting to what was actually happening.
The guys in the tour before me, they didn't even have like up armor on the Humvees,
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That is wild.
So each time we go, like every year, there's a new development in how you go about doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so your leadership, though, came to you and said, hey, you're going to get blown up today.
Yeah.
You knew it was coming. I mean, at some point, do you question, you're trained not to question that, but like, is there any sort of remorse there?